Hi everyone, so the live of the week. So yes, I did say that we would get some good news, even with the aspects that we've had, or the situation I should say, that we've had lately with that threat of metal bringing diseases and new cycle, new beginnings, if we can call that like that, and different ways of doing, and of course, as I was saying, the institution or the world with the skeleton as we used to know it, obviously changing. But also something very important has happened is that Saturn now is in Aquarius. So that is also going to change a few things. I will talk about it a little bit later, but let's get on with the stars of the week. I am feeling better. Thank you for the ones asking. I just had a flu. It was not the corona, but I can just imagine what people with the corona are going through. Just the flu is already hard enough. I just cannot imagine what they are going through. So the good news that we've had, obviously, on the 21st, 22nd, was that the government is actually helping, and now helping everyone, that it is a business or sole trader, and that it's going to give money even to the people that are obviously on pensions and things like that. Keep that money, spend it only on things that are necessary for the moment, groceries and things like that. That's why you need to keep the money for the moment, because as they said last night, the situation could last longer than expected. So just make sure that you keep that money to pay things that are important, and the rest, little by little, but just make sure you always have enough money, and obviously consume it to small businesses if you can. And making sure that the economy is going to keep on going, because the last thing that we want is all the businesses crumbling down. And I know it's if we believe that there is a conspiracy, the conspiracy is all about, is by shutting all these small businesses and things like that. But I still believe that, if you are a mom, when there are chemicals and dangerous products at home, and you've got toddlers or things like that, you don't let anyone close to those chemicals. To have a bat or whatever coming out of a level 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, a level 4 laboratory, to have a bat or something coming out, that's a really big mistake, right? They could have burned the body. If it was from a body, they should have incinerated the body or whatever. I've worked with a lot of doctors in a lot of hospitals and things like that. Even just a syringe, if it can be contagious and things like that, you have to dispose it in a special container and things like that. How can from a level 4 lab something come out? So voluntary or not voluntary, it's still a very, very bad mistake, that's for sure. Anyway, they will pay for that. There will be, because of Saturn in Aquarius, I will talk about that a little bit later, but there will be some turning around at some stage for sure. Anyway, so here's the happy news. So that was what we were going to get, and that obviously came out last night with the money. Now, we're going to stay positive, guys, okay? And I really want you to understand that. It's really important. First, it's important because of the cells. The more positive you are, the more your cells of your body are going to be positive. So yeah, definitely meditation, dancing, whatever goes, you just do it. I've done a lot of things like that, even though I was coughing like a maniac with my flu. I put music with my kids, we dance, we keep on doing some exercise, go into your garden. If you are already in isolation, if you see me dripping, it's still because I've got fever, so sorry about that. But yeah, just stay positive. Keep your body, organize a routine, and making sure that in it there is time to laugh, there is time to play games with your loved ones, or staying positive. Now, on another level, I know a lot of my followers are business people. We are now having a new moon in Aries, and I really want you to understand how important that new moon is, okay? Simply because that new moon in Aries equal to the strength, or the synonym yeah, I guessing that's the right word, of the Aries, which is, of the rat, which is equal to Aries, right? So that's a new start, okay? That's kind of like, okay, let's go and let's make things happen. I know the world is changing, and that obviously was why I started to do my program, as I was saying, with the elites, working differently and online and all these kind of things. But now it's a matter of all of you guys doing the same kind of things, okay? You all want to start to reinvent yourself. See how you are going to be able to change your business, how you're going to be able to adapt, how you're going to be able to do new packages that are answering the needs now that the society is going to have. You need to reinvent yourself. This new moon is going to take you up to 6 months, which is going to take us to the time where we pretty much will be in September, where we will have again some good stars, okay? So you do not want to miss this week. So you work at it, you think, you start creating new things, and you start planning for the next 6 months the way you are going to be thinking, the way you are going to be working. You do not want the economy to go down. The rich people will survive. The others are going to have problems, right? And I think that is really, really unfair. So, by the way, I will be open. I'm getting much better and much better. So, excuse me, I will be open, obviously, for my clients who have had a reading. That's fine. The others, I'm going to put in place a package or something, cheap prices, whatever, to be accessible, to be able to support and help as many people as I will be able to, because there's going to be problems, and some people that are going to have issues, and I want to be there to support, to give you clarity. You can see kind of the way I work with my readings, and the clarity and the way I explain, case by case and stuff like that, what's happening, what's going on, and being able to support you or answering your questions. For all the people who have had a reading with me, I am here for you guys. And as far as the others are concerned, I will do something that is affordable, because I do understand what's coming up, and I do understand there will be issues on that level. So I will be there as much as I can be. I still give, obviously, when I can, to domestic violence, any kind of situation, emergencies like that. I know it will be everything online. I won't go to the hospitals anymore or things like that. I would have if I didn't have children, but I've got 2 kids and I'm a single mom. So that actually will bring me to another subject. Actually, I might just talk about it right now. If you are a single parent, please organize yourselves. Have a plan B. If you do fall sick, you don't want your pets or your kids having no one looking after them or organizing things, you need to have a plan B. So this week with this new moon, it's a very good time to start organizing yourself, because if you end up in hospital, what's going to happen? You need to have a plan B. So please start thinking about all those things, because everyone at one stage will be exposed to that virus. It's going to be very hard to not be. So definitely to make your body alkaline and to boost your body now is definitely key to be able to react properly to that virus. So alkaline obviously is eating well, veggies, fruits as much as you can, and they can be dried fruits, they can be whatever, there's so many different ways, and frozen veggies or whatever, but you want to boost your immune system and definitely take vitamin C, vitamin D and zinc. It's extremely important. So make sure that you've got things that can and any kind of Chinese plants that can boost your immune system or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you are going to be resistant to that virus, because one way or the other it's not going to go anywhere, is it? So let's face it. Remember, fear, there's no point being fearful. Fearful is when you are not ready. If you are organized, because you know what will happen if you fall sick, or you know what to do to prevent to be sick, or you have organized yourself, because now with that new moon you're organizing a new package, a new way of working from home, working online, doing things differently. If you are organized, you will go through all these problems much better, because in that case you won't have the fear of not knowing what's going to happen and this and that. So just please organize yourself. It is in Aries, it's all about taking action and organizing yourself. So just please do that, okay, in the next few days. And we do have, I know what I'm saying, even last week when I was saying, oh my gosh, we're going to have good news, I was like, seriously, how can when good news come up, you know, in the situation we are. But we did see there was this good news about help with the government. So again, the same thing is going to happen this week. We actually have good stars, not only with that new moon, but we also have on the 27, 28 Venus and Jupiter together, which is going to make things good. We've got the 28, the 29, we've got Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, a trio happening. By the way, I didn't talk about exactly what's happening in that new moon, but there are, sorry, I just have to go to another book where I write everything in a more complicated way. But yeah, so an excellent new moon that is going to be friendly actually with Saturn. Saturn that just shifted in Aquarius, so it's one that is good because it's linked with Mars and the planet of action, obviously, as I was talking with Aries, which is the planet of Mars is the planet of Aries, and also obviously Mercury and Uranus that are actually in sync together on the sidelines. So they're really, really good working for you to be able to make things happen on the long term, okay? It's really good, as I was saying, to launch things. Anything that is entrepreneur projects is actually really, really good. And whatever is going to be done and built now is actually going to remain for many, many years because it is in sync with Saturn, okay? And that you need to really understand, because when you do build something with Saturn, which is now in Aquarius, which is the era that we are in, whatever you are going to be building this week is probably going to last you until the end of times, because we are in the era of Aquarius. Next year, then Jupiter, well, at the end of this year, in December, Jupiter will also go into Aquarius, and we are in the era of Aquarius. So think big this week, okay? That's really where you want to, you know, this week you want to organize yourself, full stop. You want to organize yourself in your private life. You want to organize yourself as far as your job is concerned and stuff like that. You want to start organizing things, okay? Because that will take you, the world as we know it is never going to be the same, right? We have started a new cycle. We are going to have now Saturn and Jupiter, obviously, in Aquarius. So things are going to be different. And remember, what is making us human is to be able to adapt to change, okay? Changes is inevitable. A lot of people say, oh, I want things to stay the same. Even, you know, when I do readings, people lack that sense, you know, of knowing that they know. But the only thing that we do know is that every day is different, right? The stars are always different, and changes is the only constant that we can rely on. So the quicker you will adapt, the better you will actually live the future coming up. So it's very important that you organize yourself this week, because you are protectors. The stars are actually going to protect you to do whatever you've got to do. Now, we've got also a good aspect on the 31st with Mars that is going to be in Aquarius, and that is going to be linked with some really good aspects to be able to exchange, to talk, and to communicate. Excuse me, I'm just going to see if I did write something else in between. Venus and Jupiter on the 27, 28 are very, very good, because it is trine with Taurus and Capricorn, which is where now we've got Jupiter and obviously Uranus in Taurus, so it's going to make a very, very nice time. Actually, it's going to be a nice time to be with your loved ones, so try to amplify things with your loved ones on the 27, 28. Try to make something nice. People are going to need it, so it is going to be a necessity to think about the good times as well. You don't want to be just, you know, thinking about things that are negative around you. So create a nice dinner, create something nice at home. And yes, the 28, 29, as I was saying, is linked with Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars. So long term, because it's all in Capricorn. So it's really creating things on the long term. And Mars in Aquarius on the 31st. Obviously, there's even a trine now, the 28 as well, that is going to keep on going. Well, the 27, 28 keeps on going. Yeah, very, very close to Capricorn at that time. So it will bring happy vibrations as well with Venus. So it's very important that you do that. On the 31st, there will be Mars conjunct, as I was saying, with Saturn. So actually, at that time, whatever you would have put in place during this week, just kind of analyze, especially on the 31st or the 1st of April, try to analyze to make sure that you are happy with what you've done. The reason why, because on the 3rd and the 4th, there will be Mercury in Neptune, which is going to be, sorry, not Mercury in Neptune, Mercury well aspected with Neptune, sorry, which is going to make things easy to write or easy to communicate. So on the 31st, which, if I am right, is going to be during the weekend, or around that date. Just try to, actually I'm not sure if it is the 31st, which day it is, and my diary is not here. Okay, well, you will know. Oh, here, I do have it here as well, mind you. So the 31st will be a Tuesday. Yeah, so look, next week around Tuesday, I will talk about it obviously in the video next week as well, but it will be a time to kind of analyze what you have done this week, okay? Because it would be easier even to talk about it, or to even promote it, or to explain. It would be a good thing, and you really want to do that because also next week there are some good things coming up, but you will want to do that before we start having the shadow of Jupiter being retrograde or things like that. That's a time where you want to be doing things, especially a new moon, because a new moon can last 6 months, which is what's happening this week. So go for it this week. Don't think too much about the negativity. Stay positive. Say, okay, look, this is my plan for the next 6 months. This is what I'm going to offer. These are the products. This is what I want to do. And organize yourself so you don't freak out with what's coming up. That it is obviously organizing your personal life and and your professional life, which is very, very important. I am here if you've got any questions. I am back working slowly but surely. I'm thinking I will be full speed by Wednesday, so please do not hesitate if you've got any questions, if I can help. And I will also launch something online. I'm going to be thinking about it today, but I will also launch something that will be accessible to everyone. Plus, of course, I will put the stars, and this week I will put the stars for next month, but I will put it on my wall to be able to help. But that is in general. It's not obviously, it's not personal, so it won't be able to answer your situation. It can kind of give the stars when it's good or when it's bad, but if you do have an issue or if you need to organize yourself, it needs to be personalized. Because let's say, for example, that the stars were good, for example, now in Aries, but let's say that you had Saturn in Aries, or that you had, a bad aspect or an opposition with Aries, obviously that wouldn't be the best time. Even though in general it is, you must still have problems. So in that case, you will need help more than anyone else. So so it's important, if you've got any issues, to know what's going on in your life and how you're going to be able to juggle, and what to do in the next year to come. It will be obviously something about the year coming up, that I will be doing something, a package looking after you for the year coming up. Purpose, whatever, helping you to set up whatever you need to set up and things like that, and what the elements of luck are into your star sign, where you should be going, what you should be doing, and things like that, because obviously that's what my astrology charts are all about. It's to tell you what is your purpose on this earth, where the luck is going to be for you, which elements to use, which products to use even, or whatever. That's what I do, and that's how I mentor people. So that's it. Look, have a really productive week. That's the word of the week. Be very productive, because that's it. So we've had, as I was saying, the good news, but now it's all about making it happen and organizing the rest, because the government will only be able to do so much. So now it's time to take, as an Aries, to take the driving seats, the sword, and go for it and just make it happen and build it, and make sure that everything has been created in the right way. Take care. I'm sending you heaps of love, and I shall see you very, very soon. Bye.